break their legs or something like that.
Okay, so I see what you're doing.
Do you get what I'm doing?
I get exactly what you're
So
doing.
the character is sort of it's a total powerhouse, but they have to completely be in control of their emotions, except when they fight, and then they turn into this like raging
Why do they
tantrum.
have to be so tragic like that?
I don't think it's try. I think it's pretty badass, in my opinion.
Okay, but when you think about it, it's Rogue all over again.
I think a lot of my characters are based on Rogue.
Yes, it's tragic. It's sad.
I think a lot of them are based on that because I love that balance in a character.
Yes,
Um,
I understand that, but like each one of your characters, are they all supposed to be paraplegics and handicapped?
Maybe. I have another one that has a mental disability that who I want to who can only who's like sort of controlled by other people. Like they have no. Basically, they have the intelligence of like a 5-year-old.
Okay, you should have a name for your group.
What is the name?
The name of your group should be Trauma Ward.
Oh my god, that's amazing!
Yes,
Ah, that's amazing, actually.
I know. That's why I told you the name. I'm trying to make
Wow.
fun. It's like if you're gonna do this, the
Let's
name should
do
be
it,
Trauma
right?
Ward.
That is so cool. And that can like help with like the sort of origin story and everything, right? If they actually sort
Exactly.
of they're
But
sort
see,
of
that's the
they're
thing.
damaged. They're sort of the damaged
Okay,
teams.
so here's the base story, right? Here's the just popping up in my head. The base storyline is that each one of these kids did come from the same hospital. Each one of them met in the hospital at one point or the other because it could be like children's hospital, whether the heck it was, and they finally got, they finally were able to get admittance out of the hospital.
Right.
But during that time, they all built a bond, and through that bond, they realized that each one of them had abilities, and they helped each other get past those hangups up, and that's how they actually got out of the hospital. Because the hospital was like, unlike Xavier's school, where they're trying to help you with your abilities and whatnot so you can fight.
Mm-hmm.
With this place, it was more like, okay, you have these abilities, you're not able to control them, you have physical, these physical handicaps,
Right.
but the only way that we will ever let you out is that you can show that you're strong enough to spend for yourself and be on your own and then go back with your family because you're able to handle your shit. So they all helped each other to be able to handle your shit.
That's
And
cool.
when they leave, they form that group and they're called
Trauma ward.
Trauma Ward.
I think that's great. I think that's really good. I don't like the idea. I don't. I mean, not that I don't like, but I think I would love them to be all ages. So the idea of them just being kids, I don't think is important.
No, but that's what I mean. It's like,
Yeah, but
you know,
that's
like how
good.
hospitals have a children ward, they have an
Yeah.
adult ward and stuff like that. And one way or the other, they always run to each other, right?
Right.
So that's basically the premise behind it is that, the hospital, whatever the fuck.
And it doesn't actually have to be a hospital. Like we can sort of make it grander. It could be uh, like Rikers Island,
It could
right?
be
Like,
anything.
yeah, like a whole nother like
Right. It
place
could
that
be
they
anything.
that they
Yeah.
bring people to that can be
Right.
that are like sort of damaging that could harm people, because they can't be in sort of social spaces where, like, if I create one character that has like massive damage power, right, like that can do massive damage.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously they wouldn't be able to be around public, they couldn't be like in normal places either, so they would be
No,
put
of course.
there. I think that's a great premise. Also, we have to. That's a good. Did you? Yes, good job. Trauma ward. Everybody has like a hardcore tragic story, and they're working to help each other control it. Basically, it's basically X-Men, but with like a mental component, basically.
It's X-Men with the mental and what is it, medical component.
Right, and a
Whereas like
medical component.
some of them would love a cure for whatever it is, but because of whatever it is that's going on with them, they have these abilities,
They have these abilities, right?
right? And
Uh,
for some of them, it's like, I don't want this. I want to get better, and others are just like embracing
Right. Oh, did I tell you a long time ago I dreamt of a character that would totally fit here? His name is Scythe, and his power. I think I mentioned him ages ago. His power was like creating knives. I think it's a dead power. It's like a dead. I mean, it's been done to death nowadays, but
it.
he created knives, and the knives would come out of his body in such a gruesome way that he had to become sort of like sadistic in the way he thought about them in order to even handle it. Um, that's such a good idea, Vidal. I love that.
You can still keep that character and utilize it somehow.
Yeah, but the knives are so maybe as a villain, maybe as a one-shot villain or something. But yeah, because it's a little played out. But
No, what's more interesting, instead of making that person a villain, that you make them a hero. Like it, uh, instinctly they're a good person.
because they are a good person, right? Yeah,
Right. It's just unfortunately they have to bring themselves to
dark
this
part.
mindset in
Yeah.
order to be able to utilize their ability, because it's so painful
Right.
and traumatic. It's like it's a coping mechanism.
It's totally coping. Yeah, I created him. Yeah, that's how I originally was. He was like a good guy, but like had to like go into a really dark place to even use his powers. But he still used them for good, you know.
Right. Like you ever work Penance, right?
Penance, yeah. I mean, that was like a character. That's
That
one
was
of.
Speedball.
No, well, yeah, Penance, but there was also Penance from. That's kind of why I think it's played out because there was also Penance in Gen X too, who was all blades and super sad. Yeah, she was Im's sister,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
That was your name, Penance?
Penance, yeah,
Really? They used that name twice in the same.
with the same power, with the same sort. Not his was like he had to make himself create pain in order to use his power, right?
Right, because it was
Speedball.
but he did that as the thing about Penance that was different is that it basically was what is that thing called? I forgot the name of that coffin that had the pins inside of it.
From like the torture device, right?
Right.
The Iron Maiden.
The Iron Maiden, there you go.
Yeah.
So he basically had a physical Iron Maiden on his body as a torture because of what he did that caused the whole Civil War, because he killed all those
The kids, right? Yeah, I remember that. Hmm.
So that's why he took the name Penance. But I forgot that character from Gen X.
The little girl.
Yeah, Generation X. I love that book.
It was a good book, yeah. I mean, they're bringing. I think they're trying to bring them back or play with the idea of them in future timelines or past timelines, and it's such a working. They work so well as characters. Yeah. Well, that's a good little thing. I think we're at 11:30. How do you feel?
We're at 11:30.
We're at 11:30. We're getting there.
We started a little late. Let's just go a little bit longer. I'm kind of like trying to figure this out real quick.
This looks actually really good. I'm taking a little moment to look at what you're doing. It looks really good, but I love the clean lines. I don't know if you've noticed, but your line style is very different just in the last like few months.
No, I haven't noticed.
You haven't noticed? It's super smooth. I love like all of the work you're doing in the middle part. I think that's my favorite
Yeah.
section. Yeah, that you're working on now.
Okay.
Ooh, and the hair looks good too, huh?
You almost have like a full piece there.
Yeah, so it's good.
Grace was able to tell who it was really quick.
Was she able? That's good.
Yeah.
Yay.
She was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "Donald." She was like, "Yeah, I can see it."
Yay, great. I mean, you can't really miss the black dot.
No, but it had nothing to do with that. I mean, if you didn't know that was Domino, right?
Uh-huh.
Looking at it, or even just looking at a drawing, it's like if it wasn't done right, it would just look like a big old blurry smudge.
Huh.
But it's not. You can actually tell that there's, structure.
Yay.
There's a reason for that being there. Not
Yay.
just like, oh, this person messed that up.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, yeah. I try to be more. I'm trying to just be free form and sort of let myself sort of grow into whatever it happens. I'm trying to just not pressure myself as much because I
That's
think
good.
I think it'll come. I mean, if I could do it once, I could do it again, and blah blah blah. So I'm just not taking it too hard on myself. And right now, I
I
really
like it.
like the scribble thing. It
No,
really
I know
works
you
for
do.
me.
I know you do. That's why I'm not saying anything.
You're like, so I'm letting it go, right? I think it,
I can totally be like a total ass and hard on you and be like, you're not doing this, you're doing more of this, you need to be doing more of that. But you're playing with your tools, you're jumping on stream on your own, you're figuring it out, you're doing more studying, you're doing, what you feel comfortable with doing to help you grow,
right,
which is more than enough.
right. Oh,
I'm
thank
gonna
you.
always I'm gonna always say fundamentals because I think it's a necessity.
Yeah.
It's just like I keep feeling sometimes I struggle with hair, and the reason being is because hair is a pain in the ass.
I love hair.
We know you love hair.
I do. Like right now, I'm like trying to do this bob, and I'm like, it's so fun. Just do a bob.
I just think sometimes that you need to have some type of idea of how you want to structure the hair, build the hair up, and that's just one of the things I tend to think about constantly when I'm doing hair. That's why I haven't even like touched Superman yet because I'm not sure how I'm gonna do his hair. I'm
Right.
probably gonna redraw Goku's pants down here because I don't like the way this came out.
Okay, cool, cool.
And then
He
his
looks
crotch.
great, but I don't think you need to bother him at all. Cause
No,
you're.
I don't. His crotch is lining up weird
Oh,
for
it's
me.
bothering you,
Yeah, so I'm thinking I need to adjust this section of his lower body
huh?
because I'm just not liking the way it's coming across right there.
Can't you
So I
just
think
put
I
a?
need
Can't you just bring another swirl out? I think the swirls are
to.
actually really good too, though.
Yeah, to me it would look like his penis is coming out from there like his girl. And it just confirmation. You know how you call it just got that out on one of his things and he was like,
Oh,
that looks like
oh,
that.
that's
That's the
funny.
section that this would be. It would be like, why do you have a penis coming out from the bottom? Like, what the hell is that?
That's funny.
So
You could
but
do like
yeah.
he said and say, "I don't know what you're talking about."
So I went ahead on Twitter
Uh huh.
and I said something to what is it, Brett Booth.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to
Cool.
know what he like posted an image of some Superman thing that he did, and I was like, that's amazing. I was like, what are you currently working on? Right, and he like told me that he's gonna be working on this new Flash book.
Oh,
So I'm just
yay.
like,
How was that?
okay, I'm getting that. I'm like, thank you so much. And I was like, I really didn't think you would answer back. And he was like, I try to answer back as much as possible.
Oh, that's
I was like,
cool.
that's awesome. All right, cool.
Right. I mean, I don't do Twitter, but like, isn't that the whole point of it? Is that you have access to people that you normally wouldn't have access to?
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
should
know.
put bullet holes.
In the wall.
Yeah. How
You
do I
can put
do
those in
that?
the wall.
How do I do that? Yeah, isn't that
All
like
right,
one of the
so
coolest things about Twitter?
I think so.
That's cool.
So yeah, I'm gonna draw a bullet hole real quick.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Oh, lesson break, lesson break.
I don't know what that is, but
No, because it's one of her powers is that she has good luck, and so there should be like all these, she should be like shot all up without being hit.
she doesn't have that much luck in this book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't read it. Oh, that's good, my mom.
It's just some of that. You can add a little bit more to it or whatever. So the whole point is to create the circle, create where the crevice is at, the indentation, and then build cracks out of it. You can just spider web it. and then you just add a little more stress lines around the side, and then you have cracks for a bullet hole. That's it. Does that work for you?
Yeah, it's good. I got it. That's great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. There you go, bullet holes. Bullet hole in 5 minutes. In 2 minutes.
Right? Because we fly like that. I'm not sure my distance is right, but it'll be close. It's fine.
It probably isn't, but it's okay.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
It wouldn't be funny if I didn't go really Yeah, I think the perspective is fine. You can make bullet holes any size you want, depending on the caliber of the bullet.
Of the bullet, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So depending on the caliber of the bullet would normally determine like how large the hole is going to be. And then I'm probably going to come back to his legs.
So good.
Might do that. Do an open arc. Yeah, it feels a little bit like opening the arc up.
The arc, yeah. You made it more swooped.
Just wider, because this leg can come out this way, and then you have the cross.
He looks great. I think that you did good with the hair and the face. He made him sort of feral. He's sort of like wolfy, which is kind of great with the hair. I like that.
I'm just trying to do justice to this. It's Goku. I gotta make him look good.
People love Goku.
I mean, I'm sure if I fuck up Goku, I should just like throw down my pencil.
I don't know. You should take a look at what Jim Lee did.
Did you not like what he did?
It's awful. I'm sorry, Jim, but it's terrible. Just because it's just, and I think that's why he was like, I'm never doing that again. It's just the style's different. And it's like he tried to do like a Japanimation style, and it's like, maybe I shouldn't do that.
Oh, did he like literally say, maybe I shouldn't do that?
No, that's me saying maybe you should.
Okay.
No, that's me putting words in his mouth.
No, what was like his reaction?
His reaction was, I just saw the post and he says, my first and my last Goku.
Oh, really? He was just like straight up, it's my first and last. And
And that's it. He's like, yeah. And I'm sure he's gotten asked to do it so much. What made you? You got asked to do it by the.
This is a commission.
By the commission, right?
Yeah.
So the Superman hair should go in the direction of his. What'd be cool is if you gave his curl the flip of the cape, if that makes sense.
Like this?
Yeah, so that his curl and the cape are in the same direction.
Oh, I'm going to.
Yeah, because he has like that like special Superman curl.
Yeah, like that's the whole thing. No, he doesn't really have that curl anymore.
Does he not have it anymore? You should give it back to him. I love it.
Well, I'm gonna probably go with whatever the person that commissioned me.
Whatever. Once they ask, it's in your court now.
Yeah, I kind of keep in mind like some of the things that they like.
Do you?
When I'm doing a commission.
I'm like,
I sent out that Nightcrawler.
Oh wow, okay.
But I sent it out. That went out. So hopefully when he gets it, I'll like.
Oh, you have a chat. Legendary Dex.
Oh. Great job, man. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the chat, or welcome to the stream.
My name is Badam, or Bee's House, whichever you prefer. And I am co-streaming with my buddy Hot Sketch, aka Corey.
Corey, we've been on for a bit. We're getting some stuff done tonight.
Yeah, we're almost getting ready to call it a night.
We are. I'm already yawning, actually.
Look at you already yawning.
I am already.
Okay, so I'm taking part of your advice here, and I'm adding another swirl.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
Cool.
But I'm bringing it from underneath.
Yeah.
Like, not exactly like kind of where his penis would be.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it's actually coming from underneath. So I'm adding that.
So I love the idea of the trauma ward, and so I'm gonna start thinking of like storylines for that, and like, you know, world building for that. I think it's a great idea. I think the idea of putting them on like a Rikers Island, like they have their own sort of like facility where stuff happens, and like mostly sort of like alerts where they have like, it could be that they help each other control their powers by actually like taking each other down. Does that make sense?
Wow.
Right? Where they're like you know, like how would it be, like
Keep each other in check.
yeah, like hall monitors, you remember? Like you would get the teacher's pets, like a good team A whenever.
Teacher's pets. Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Wow, you're so mean. That's very mean. That's a mean bully thing to say, Corey. Oh my gosh, you can't do that.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I got teacher's pet in high school.
I was making a joke.
Oh, I'm like, I don't know what you're... Oh, you're being like a... Oh, okay. I get it. No, I think it's a cool idea. Sort of like to sort of have them help each other, but like by like literally savagely taking them down. And you can see like the next scene where they're like, thanks, guys. Right? It's like, oh... You know, it's a big old fight scene, and they're like destroying this one person, and then the next scene, you're like, it's like, thanks, guys. I was really losing it there, and that could be like the introduction.
Wow. Okay. I guess that's kind of weird, but all right.
You think it's weird? Like, think of it if you had a facility full of people with powers, and all of them were crazy. How would you make them help each other out, but also, like, you know, not blow the place up? You would, military people would be really scary if you were like trying to help them. Anyway, we'll think about it.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out this thing.
Oh, you're like doing face now, huh? Well, we're about thanks everybody for watching. I think we're about to sort of start winding down. It's been a great night. I got to do a domino where everybody seems to be doing domino these days. So I thought I'd sort of join in the fray and do one too off of whim, because, you know, why not? Everybody's doing it. And then we're on every Thursday at between 9 and 10. And my goal is always to sort of increase my skills and also sort of finish a piece, preferably in one session like I did today. But sometimes the last thing I did took, oh my God, maybe like 3 weeks, I think. 3 or 4 weeks I was playing with that idea.
You were doing a lot of noodling.
Huh?
You were doing a lot of noodling.
Was I?
Yeah. On the very first one you did, you were noodling.
No, with the Cloak and Dagger.
Oh, that didn't take 3 weeks.
I think so. It took forever, I thought.
Yeah, you went back to like when you had time.
Yeah, and then inking was that was really intimidating. Actually, I don't think I'm at that level where I should be inking things.
Why don't you discover that yourself?
I was like, oh my goodness, I don't think I should be doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think it was a little early, but okay. You're not gonna be able to find out until you decide to do it yourself.
Well, thanks for letting me know.
Well, I didn't. I let you discover it because every time I tell you, no, yeah, I don't think that. All right.
I have my own opinions.
I'll let you do you, buddy.
Right, I have my own opinions.
Mm-hmm. You definitely do.
Let me see. I'm looking closer at what you're doing over there. It's looking very good.
I'm just basically penciling some of the extra bits that I need for Superman really quick, just lining things up.
Yeah. Make sure you build his neck out.
No, I'm gonna throw all that, the muscles in and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just making sure I have all of my landmarks where I need it to be.
And so when you do blue, how much it looks like you do very little sketching in the blue, right? So you don't do
Yeah.
And so then after you do all these pencils, then you'll go in again with doing texture lines, right?
I'll do all that with ink.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up doing ink because like what I'll end up doing is like with the Nightcrawler, I like blocked out where my shadows were gonna be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I just indicated where I wanted to do some shadowing and rendering, like that, right? And then that way they gave me an idea of how I'm going to do my light source, right? And the reason why I'm just doing it like that, because if I was doing like full pencils, right, I would end up doing it where, like say if this was an arm, the shoulder, right, I would create this area here with the shadow, fill this all in with black, right? And then I would build up my actual stroke, right? But I wouldn't use a hard pencil like this one, right? Because this is this is an HB pencil,
Right. Which is what I'm using
right?
to pencil with, I think.
Well, actually, this is a 2H, right? So I would actually go to my HB, which is this one, and I would be able to build up my render, right? Just like that, right? And the more shadow I put in something, right, I'll be able to come back later with the flat side of it and just do that, right? So I would build up just like that. Whereas if I come in with ink afterwards, like say if I use this one, right, I can just turn around and say, okay, I want it to be thick, thin, you know. I can just come in and do it.
Hmm.
And this one I need more practice with. This is a new one that I got. I haven't had a chance to practice as much, but like I did a bunch of these lines over here yesterday with this. Or I would end up using like this one. And I would
All right. I think I'm done with mine. I guess I could go in with more more straight lines for the gun, but pretty clear
But yeah, there you go.
greens. Say that again?
No, I just said yeah, but there you go.
Right, but yeah, I could, but I think it reads as a gun already. Yep, it does.
It does. It's a very 90s gun.
Why? I'm a '90s kid. I can't help it. Because you remember the whole plasma gun things that they.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Now everything is like a rifle when they're drawing them in comic books. I'm like, why are they all these like NR-57s or R221s or whatever the heck they are?
Look at you. Pulling out names of guns.
I'm just making up numbers, to be honest. All right, everyone. I am actually going to log out. Oh no! Before we go, we're gonna try a new ending thing where we do favorite book of the week. Okay, so here's the options, but favorite book of the week with favorite panel, or throwback. Since it's Thursday, we could do a throwback Thursday where we do one of our favorite books of all time, and we sort of pull out one of our old books. And show that one and favorite panel. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah?
I like that.
Right?
That's an idea. Unfortunately, you got me where I don't have any of my shit out.
You don't have anything out, right? So you would have to prep before, right?
I would have to do. No, matter of fact, I think I can pull one real quick.
So it's going to be Throwback Thursday then, right?
If I was to do that, it would be a Throwback Thursday.
Okay.
We could do. Actually, no. I'll do it from the latest issue of. No, I'll do it from a new book.
All right. Well, let me see. I'm going to see if I have anything in my, because you can show them on your little thing too.
What?
I mean, you don't actually have to have the book because I can see if I have anything in my tablet that works.
No, I have books though. I have like actual books.
I do too. You're so funny.
No, you don't buy. You already said you don't buy anything. You download everything.
I download everything. That counts.
You do digital. I do physical. I have physical books. I do the physical books. I buy the physical books. So
Right.
I'll show a physical book. You can show your digital.
All right. Okay. Good.
Let me grab it. Hold on. Be right back.
I have actually really been liking the Astonishing X-Men lately. So let me see if this one's still here. But I think I'm going to actually do a Throwback Thursday, you guys. So I'm going to do a Throwback Thursday while he does his, he looks for his recent book. And so I am going to do one of the original, and this is going to surprise V's house or Vidon because he's not going to believe that I actually have a DC book. So mine is going to be a DC book. And it's going to be one of my favorite artists. Ooh, did I already show it? I think I already showed it. Are you back yet? Are you back? Yet? No. I think I already showed it though, so I'm kind of already messed up. But let me see if I can find this. This artist on the internet. Yay. He is taking way too long. So I am going to start, I think. Okay. So while he is getting his, I am gonna go first.
But the segment Claire wants to do called Throwback Thursdays for Book of the Week. So we're gonna do. Uh-huh.
Ooh, good one.
I got mine.
All right, I got mine.
All right.
So,
Which one's yours?
so mine is Legion Lost, and it is a DC book, which I'm sure you can barely even believe. And it is the first time that I saw Olivier Copier, who is the guy that I am always sending you pictures of his work from. Looks like there's a little something on my screen. Is that on my screen or is that on your screen?
That was mine.
Okay. And it is Legion's Lost. It's a DC book. I don't even know who these characters are, but it had a black girl on the cover, and I was like, oh my god, who is this black girl? And the art inside I thought was exceptional. This is 2000.
Wow, okay.
Right? It's old, right? 18 years.
18 years.
Right? And now he's like a powerhouse. He's like one of like, you know.
You know what's really funny that I just noticed right now?
What?
Is your video is showing backwards.
Oh, is it flipped?
It's flipped.
It is flipped.
It's flipped horizontally.
Okay, I have to fix that. I didn't notice until I started flipping
I
pages.
just noticed that right now as you were flipping, as you put the flip down. I was like, look at that. Like,
Whoa.
that's not a Japanese comic. Like,
Oh, that's funny. Okay, now I know that for next time. That's good to know for next time. It didn't notice at all though, right? And it didn't notice at all while we were streaming. And I'm gonna say that the frame that I love the most, as I am sort of sitting here flipping through it, right? I don't know if this counts, but I think I'm actually going to do the cover. That probably shouldn't count. That's cheating, right?
not if it's your favorite piece in that entire book.
It's like my favorite thing in the entire book because it's like her with like these the fingers are wrong, but I think they're so beautiful. And it's the thing that made me pick up the book. And it's a black girl that he sort of like made really sort of like stunning without making her like white. I don't know if that makes sense. Like she still has like natural hair. She has like, you know, brown eyes. She has like bosoms for days. Let's bring back bosoms, everybody. Even gay men love bosoms.
Right.
Yeah. And it was my first introduction to this artist, and I'm so grateful that he's sort of like, I'm so proud that he's like continued to expand his talent and stay in comic books. So I'm gonna stay with the cover. I guess I'm kind of cheating. Oh no. So one more, and so end this panel where he has triplets of a one character.
Okay, show.
Okay, I'm done.
Where's the panel?
Oh, I didn't show. I showed it. It's right
okay,
here.
there you go.
It's like these four characters in triplet hovering above her
Okay.
in a full circle, which takes like that's one of those things that you're trying to tell me. In order to pull something like that off, you would have to know You would have to know perspective. You would have to know body design. Like all of that is in play in this shot. Let me pull it to the side more. Hold on. And up.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I see what you're talking about.
Right? Like in order to be able to